the fucking arrow.
You already know. Period.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to Kamisha Reviews. We review. I'm trying to make sure I got Instagram on here. There we go. It's so long for it to connect. I don't know why. All right. So it's just gonna be the queen today. My other queens are doing brunch and things, but y'all know Kamisha Reviews don't never take a break. So, and I even have to work tonight, but it is what it is. Let's get started with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Really quick, guys, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe if you are new to the channel. The views and opinions expressed on this channel are those of this channel and are for entertainment purposes only. Do not try this at home. And don't whine in the comments when you don't like it, because I don't care.
All right, guys, we about to get started. As you see, I am your bartender for the day, getting the drinks ready for the show. Oh, you're gonna need a drink for this one. What you drinking on? I got vodka, I got something brown and nasty. I got whatever you need to make you chill or to get you completely lit. What is it? Tell me all about it. Because you know this show is gonna be a mess, fun, and more. All right, what you drinking on, baby? I got you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with the recap for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I actually just watched the show maybe like 30 minutes ago. So Nail was adamant when she said she did not want any therapy at all, even though the kids suggested that, even though the dad suggested for the kids, right? She was like, no, but we'll get back to that in a minute. I want to talk about Marceau and Marquez, okay? Marquez, who is Letitia's, and I'm hoping I'm not gonna get, because I know that Trisha's new guy in her life, his name is either Ken or Cam. I keep calling the wrong name, but I think it's Ken. Okay, he calls him the muscle guy. I was calling him the muscle guy for the first couple weeks myself. But anyway, so this conversation was very frustrating because Marceau, I felt like, was trying to be a man tell another man what he's actually doing wrong. He didn't want to hear it, pretty much, to me. Marquez, first of all, he said he used to work for Marceau, and there was some big old fight apparently that happened at his place of business, and it was Trish, her ex, Marquez, and I'm saying muscle guy, but we know who we're talking about, Ken. Okay, so we gotta go through their history really quick. Hold on. All right, let's go through their history really quick. So he said, they were married at 18 years old. When her parents passed, he wasn't there for her. He said he did not know how to be there for her because of his parents. I really feel like that this guy made excuses for literally everything that happened. What's going on, Lance? I see you over there in the chat, Lance. How you doing? Hopefully one day I can talk to you. But I feel like this man was making excuses for everything. I mean, everything. I don't give a care what was going on. He made excuses for it, right? He even said he wasn't in love with her. Okay, so you wasn't in love with this woman. You wasn't there for her when she lost her parents. You left for a year and a half. I'm trying to understand, why should anybody feel bad for you as if you're the one that was done wrong? Besides the fact that you think that him and her were talking on IG prior to you leaving. That Kim was waiting in the wings, as you stated, for her this whole entire time. Well, living in ATL for a year and a half and not being there for your kids and blaming this man. I don't understand. Then saying she loves chocolate. He's chocolate. First of all, sir, you're weird. You said she loves chocolate, and you said that he is chocolate. How is he chocolate? How do you know he's chocolate? I'm confused about this whole entire conversation. Let me tell you something. Marceau gave him no slack. I freaking loved it. I was like, Marceau, if you don't get him together, ready. Oh my God. He was driving me insane. He was. Like, let's really talk about this. The key things I wrote down. He said, my daughter is acting funny. Lance, if you're still here on IG, you might want to stick around for what I talk about the therapy sessions and Nail. Because I have some things to say, not just as a blogger, but as a mother who have sons and a daughter. Okay. So Marquez says, my daughter was acting funny. Your daughter is 7 to 10 years old, right? This is the years that we're talking about here. And at this age, children will tell you how they feel. They'll tell you how you feel at 3. At 7 to 10, they're pretty much grown. They're going to tell you how I feel, da-da-da-da. So he is blaming even his own child. Coming to him and saying how she feels about him not being there. He blames Cam for, is it Ken or Cam? So y'all let me know in the comments. To me, and I'm sorry to say this, he sounds like an idiot. I'm sorry. You sound like an idiot. And I hate to say that. The reason why you sound like an idiot, and I'm sorry to say this, because you are a grown adult. You are a man. You have made every excuse in the world to why your relationship failed, except for the important one, your role. You did not want to take accountability. Marceau had to drill it in you over and over and over. You should be thanking that man. You should be thanking him. The things you were saying, he said your daughter comes home crying to him because you're not there. What do you want him to do? Tell her to call your dad? I mean, her dad? To call you? What? Excuse me? Bro. If I've never heard of a deadbeat, sorry, weak, sauce, no accountability, looking ass, that would be you in the dictionary, sir. F-boy would be you. I don't give a care if Trish was working out with him every day. I don't care what was going on. The relationship with her, with Trish, has nothing to do with the relationship with your child. Get that through your head. Your relationship with your ex, it doesn't have anything to do with you being a father and developing your daughter and being in her life. That has nothing to do with that. And I mean nothing. That pisses me off that you are looking for a reason for somebody to look at you like, oh man, Marquez, oh man, I feel so bad for you. She has another dude. You pretty much saying you wasn't even in love with her prior to him even being in your life. What are we saying here? What are we saying? If you weren't in love with her to see it for her, and somebody came in the picture to make her happy, not only that, make your child happy, I agree with Marceau. You should be thanking that man instead of having all this anger towards him. He did what you couldn't do, period. Donna D. Marquez say she got it from her mother. My thing is, oh, his name is Ken. Why in the world can a daughter at that age, a child at that age, can form their own thoughts and opinions? So why would it be the mother that's having her feel this way? The child ultimately probably feels that way. Trisha is smart. Obviously, Ken is a good guy. Did you not hear him actually admit that his son's car? He said his son's car is because of him. I am so confused. You admitted out your own mouth your son has a car because of this man. What are we saying here? You weren't there for your child. And you come on here with your tail between your legs with the woe is me and thinking everybody gonna be like, oh, Marquez, I'm so sorry because she did you. He put a chocolate emoji under her picture. Okay, next. Then you want to make him look bad and say, you need to check your bitch. That's trash. Which one bet he didn't say that? You want so bad. You're so miserable. This is really what it is. Let me go ahead and tell you guys what it is with Marquez. And this is me being real. Marquez is miserable. Marquez is very unhappy with his life and his decisions. That's why he can't hold his head up. Talking to another man, Marquez. Marceau. He cannot even look him in the eye. He knows how wrong he actually is. Okay. So the reality of it, okay, is that man is so miserable that he wants everyone around him to be miserable. And that's really what it is. He doesn't like the fact that she's happy with someone else, that he looks bad, that his children is closer to him than he. He just feels the way about it. And so he wants to make him look bad. He doesn't want Tisha again. He doesn't even want her. But he doesn't want to see Trisha happy without him either. He looks at Ken as a competition with his child. This man's priorities are not right. Donna D says Trisha had said in an early episode that she pretty much took care of everything financially, even when they were together. I mean, look, he wasn't even there to help her when they was together. He said himself that he was checked out. So to me, I don't understand the animosity towards Ken. You have no evidence that Ken and her did something. No evidence, right? So anyway, I want to go ahead and jump into Nail. Nail talking about the therapy and not wanting to do it. Okay. She meets up with Nail. I'm sorry, she meets up with Mel. Mel says, her emotional thermometer is pretty high and she feels like she should sit with a therapist. Nail is like looking at like, I want everybody to leave me alone. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's my reaction. When my kids come at me and and they're adults. Watching that whole scene, it was just like, ooh, gave me the shivers because my kids have sat around, you know, with my husband talking to me about, their feelings and how they can't come to me sometimes because my reaction is crazy. I'm a woman to admit that. I will go off. You did what? I told you. Did you not hear me? That is me. I can admit my faults or whatever, right? So it took me a while, to be honest. My kids talking to me, I would shut down or get upset, because I didn't want to hear it. But my younger son, who was so much like me, really, clued me in like, Mom, we love you. We want to talk to you, but you're going to blow up. Can you just listen? Not in a disrespectful way. And so for me, when I started to listen to my children, I mean, really, really listen, look at them like they're not children anymore. I mean, they'll all be my kids, but they're adults. So I had to sit back, and it took a while. And to this day, it still is a struggle, but to sit back and listen to my kids, when I would talk to them after, they were more receptive and they received it differently. They even acted on things I told them to do. They listened to me. They would do things I suggested. Our relationship is actually better because of it. And it wasn't a therapist involved. It was that old school, my kids cornering me. I'm listening to my children. My husband is there mediating it, even throwing his own 2 cents in there as well. And I didn't want to hear it, but it was something that I had to hear. Women, black women, especially, um, the way we were reared up and how we would, stuff like therapists, it wasn't a solution to a problem if something is going on. Oh, hold on, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hang on. I'm trying to quietly dig something out. And I thought I had it. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Shit. Ugh, I'm annoyed with myself now. Okay, I'm sorry. So when I tell you that scene, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, the scene was a triggering scene because as black women, that is our reaction to things. A lot of times the dad is the one that's like, look, you know, uh, tell me, we could talk about it. Your mama gonna get mad. Because with the mother, the emotion is I want to prevent my child from going through with any kind of hurt or any kind of whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a very touchy subject for black women because we express ourselves. That is a black woman's therapy. We don't hold it in, we let it out. And for that reason, people do get hurt or stung by that abrasiveness. I know for myself, it has happened more than one time in my life where I've hurt somebody that I love and care about because I'm very abrasive, or someone could say I'm very aggressive. I don't mean to come off that way, to be honest. My heart is super big and I love very, very hard. And I put everything in, everything I do, everything that I do, I put my whole everything in it. And I have a very high moral compass. I do not like people to try to lie or play because when I get in a corner like that where you try to, I am that girl that will take you down with me. And when I go, we're going to hell and you coming with me. Period. But again, that's not necessarily good on some levels. Maybe if you try to conquer the world, take over a business, work, that might work there. But when it comes to the family dynamic, it does not. And your children, honestly, will tell you how they feel, regardless of the age, whether it be 7 to 10 years old, whether it be your kids are 20 to 25 or 18 or 17, whatever it is. So your kids are going to tell you how they feel. The thing of it is, are you going to listen to your children? The one thing that Dr. Francis was saying, Donna D, was that she was trying to not show her emotions or to hide that she had emotions or that there was more to her than a hard shell. The hard shell is a cover. The hard shell is a protective shield that we all use. Your children are going to see, okay, mama, come on, mama. We love you. We know there's more to this than you being hard. Your kids know. You had them. Just like you had them, you know, and you know your children know you as well. The thing about it being angry black women, and I didn't even use the word angry black women, and I refuse to use that word. Me saying that we have a shield that we use to not have to deal with the emotions or a protective shield to keep us from being hurt. The aggressiveness that we use is like a shell that we use to keep ourselves from being hurt as well. It's very protective. And I say this because I want, and I know Lance was in here earlier, him to understand that look at that nail. I saw so much of myself, and I could just tell she'll do anything for those children. And I know her children and her niece knows that, no doubt. Because I could tell how her kids looked at her with love. Everything the kids were saying was concerned. Mama, I want you to go see a therapist. I could tell there's more something going on, not about us kids, but just you, period. Having that discussion. You could just tell Nail has carried a lot. To be that age, you carry a lot. Okay. I thought that Lance, as a older sibling, was trying to do the best he could in that situation. I will admit that as well. Um, and same with her husband. When I say I love that family, I'm telling you, I don't know why. When I first saw Nail on screen, I was just like, 'cause like I said, I'm new to the season. Doing this is my first time doing a full season. But when I saw the family and got to know the family, I fell in love with Nail's family. Her husband, the kids. The kids are so gorgeous, and she has handsome children. Handsome can be used for both. If people didn't know that, they're just and I could just see the genes. I love how, because I know Lance, that's not his, but he calls him dad. I also love that the dynamic with the family. I see so much love, right? That I want to see them win. So Melody said she's got to watch her blood pressure, and I also like that scene as well because she said she failed her physical. I was like, wow, she failed her physical because of the blood pressure. That was also scary, in my opinion. I was like, ooh, I didn't even know that. That's another thing that the reason why Nail needs to slow down. If you failed your physical because of blood pressure, baby, it's time to do some therapy alone. It is. So maybe when she says leave me alone, maybe it should be I need the therapy one-on-one conversations where I'm getting some stuff off my chest and relieving some of that pressure. My birthday just passed. I've kind of adopted this regimen where when I get off of work in the morning, I work overnight. I get on the treadmill. Started doing this last week. It relieves a lot of pressure and stress. I'm gonna do this every week because it's kind of I don't want to talk about that part, but I'm just saying that for me, I am gonna be doing this every week as a regiment. You know, um, I don't talk about my personal life when I go through my family on here because I keep it separate. I do. I rather keep it that way because I'm a blogger and I keep a lot of that separate. I won't talk about it at any other place, you know what I'm saying, outside. Like if I'm at work or something, that's a separate person. I don't talk about what I do here, me being a podcaster and a blogger and all the things I do and everything. I don't talk about it. I refuse to do that because I want to keep that separate. But even my family, you know, when I started doing this was like, you know, but I keep it separate. Like I said, my family is not involved with my stuff here, and I do like that on purpose. I have to have that boundary. Um, Donna D says, "Oh, okay, Dr. Francis is cool, but why Dr. Francis smile so much? Like Dr. Francis smiled the entire time. It was giving creepy, and I know people will say, because I liked him too. Watch his approach and everything, but I was like, oh my god, if he smiles one more time. But anyway, so now some of the things that Nell was saying is that you know you go to your father because y'all don't want to hear the truth from me because you go to your dad it's easier. I get what Nell's saying with that. You know, y'all don't want to come to me because y'all don't want to hear the truth. Y'all don't want to hear me tell you what it really is. I was like, wow. Mm. That the psychiatrist said that Nell, everything is tied to her feelings. That's one thing John did. He did said I wrote that down. Um, that all her stuff is tied to her feelings. I think Nell's gonna be okay. I think the children are gonna be okay. I even love the end when she spoke to each person. But I really would like to know more about the niece. Where are her parents at? What's going on with that? You know, that's a story that I think should be dug in a little bit. The relationship with her and Lance. I think those two relationships need to come to the forefront. What's going on? Okay. Because you could tell that Lance and Nell also have their mom and son relationship. I just, you know, like to explore some of those things. Anyway, let's talk about Marquez talking to Trisha and how he whined. It's pretty much the last part of the episode. He pretty much whined the entire time. Make sure you guys follow me on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all podcasts. All these shows that you hear on YouTube and Twitter and all the things and everything else, they're always downloaded at the end of the day on my podcast. So if you are not able to catch these lives, you can listen to the podcast there. Because I'm about to go crash here in a minute. Anyway, when I'm done with this, I have to grind tonight. Okay, so in Chris's interview and the kids IG, they hit a spin-off. Oh, I know Chris had an interview. Who did Chris interview with? Oh, I'm sure it was probably with Carlos King. But anyway, because no one really interviewed Love Marriage Huntsville except for certain bloggers out of all the own network. It's crazy how Love Marriage Huntsville. It is very difficult to interview with them. I do interviews now more or less through the PR and production now, and I do these things anyway, to be honest. But um, okay, so either Dustin or Carlos King interviewed Love Marriage Huntsville. No other bloggers does it besides them. He has that. It's one day I would tell a story about me trying to contact Mel for interview and the results of that one day. But I'll leave it there. I do commentary about the show and I'm cool. So anyway, Marquez talks to Latricia about the chocolate, all the other things. She really took it like, okay, she sat there and listened to him whine. I feel like she sat there and listened to him whine and just was like, okay. My whole thing about it, because I ain't gonna lie, the whole time he was talking, it was like womp, 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 womp. And every time I heard Marquez talk, I would hear
it's time to say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
like everything about him was like, or I'm just being honest, it was like I'm sorry. Every time I heard him talk, every time I heard him talk, every time, period. I was like, oh my God, drama. So I was very dramatic to make my point. I was trying to make my points about this. Pretty sure he does. Trying to make my point about this. Yeah. I can't. That's all I'm gonna say. I cannot. Mm-mm. So, look. I think that man needs to have some accountability and helping himself and be thankful the fact that somebody was there for his children when he wasn't able to be there. Chose not to be there, whatever the reason. And I just think that he needs to be more humble because he's not. Oh, Lord have mercy, y'all. I am about to go crash. I have to go to bed. This was actually a good episode. A lot of mental health. I love talking about mental health. It's very important to me. Mental health is super important. Black women do not take care of ourselves as far as our mental health. We carry a lot on our shoulders for however long. We don't help each other out. But sometimes you hear or someone comes around you and says, you know what? As a black woman, I'm going to help you. I'm going to have your back. Because a lot of times black women are out there by themselves. We're out there by ourselves. People are plotting against you. You don't know it. No one's looking out for you. You by yourself fighting and screaming. And that's just the way it has been for freaking forever. The day that we actually look out for each other, do you know how powerful we would be as black women? Jesus. Nobody could touch us. It would even take maybe 2 or 3 of us, maybe 4, to take over something. Chaos would ensue. But a lot of times we sometimes sit back and watch the black women fall, and it's cute. It's okay. We'll see. Marquez should be so embarrassed by his appearance on the show and never come on again. He really should be. That was actually embarrassing. If his family and friends know him. Because if you go on a reality TV show and people know you from, oh, I work with that person, or that's my manager, or that's my sister, my brother, my cousin, people will come out and say stuff. Now, people are not too stupid. It's like at the end of the day, why would you come out and embarrass your family and friends? You know they're going to be on TV. Why would you come out there and do too much? For them to come on TV and say, rebuttal, because that person can interview and demolish your whole whoever you are. I don't know that person, they lying, So to me, it's not worth it. If I knew somebody going on reality TV and they're my friend, cousin, whatever, I can't see myself. I'm gonna do a tell all. I'm not doing that. Now, I might come behind the scenes and DM then I'll call, let's have a conversation. But to me, doing all that and putting all your laundry in the streets, I've never understood that. Now, mind you, I've interviewed a few family members, husbands and wives, and got the tea. Let me not lie. Let me be clear about that. Point blank, period. Okay. Yes, because I am the queen of reality TV, period. If you didn't know that 100%, I love it. I've been doing this for a very long time. No matter where I am, what I do, I am Kamisha Reviews, the queen of reality TV, a blogger / podcaster who works 24 hours a day. When I am not asleep or my family or anything else, this is what I'm doing. This. There are some good sister circles out there. Women just have to seek them out. Agreed. I want to shout you guys out on Twitter who are giving me a lot of love. I got 50 people over there watching me. YouTube, I appreciate you guys. Twitch and Facebook. I appreciate the love, y'all. We're gonna end this. Okay, I want to come on myself really quick and give a quick little on this Sunday positive note here. All right, it's Sunday, and I want to say, as you start your week out, and as you go to work and take care of your business, understand there's going to be somebody always plotting to see you fall. I don't care if it's at your church, family, it doesn't matter where it is. Understand that you stand 10 toes down. You know God got you. You also know that no matter what, the people who are plotting against you, they don't know what you got in your arsenal. And sometimes it may be just faith. It may be just love. It might be some good people that's got you. Whatever that is. Don't ever let them see you sweat. And on them hard days when you think you got nobody, you got you, don't you? Period. All right? On this good Sunday, I want you to think about this as well. That sometimes bad things need to happen, which is unfortunate. And that lesson is your faith and your testimony. And you got to go through it. It might be a long, I'm thinking about this recently. It might be a long, bad time, but you got to get through it. And you will come out and see the light eventually. But if you don't have to go through it, your revenge will be through God anyway. He always has the last say, right? So I'm just going to say this because I know I'm a faithful child. I know God got me. So who are my enemies don't have to worry about me doing anything. Because I don't have it. God got me. He going to take care of it. Because everything evil in the dark always come to light. Understand that. Somebody is always watching when you think nobody is. And when you think you got 10 people that's got you, that one person that said no might be your downfall. Understand. Be careful. Because if you go out there with ill intentions and you go out there with these malicious ways to be, you don't know the outcome. Amen. Amen. You have a good week, guys. Shout out to actually Aubrey, my former mentee, great blogger, podcast over there. I see you in the streets, baby. I see you out there. I do. Okay, love it. All right. I'm always here if you need me. With that being said, guys, we're going to just send it off like this. Y'all know who I am. One thing I want you guys to know, and that nothing that will never change about this, I am the queen of reality TV. Don't get it twisted and don't doubt it. It is what it is. Period.